What is a fiber optic cable? What does it do? How can it send data so fast and uninterruptedly? Fiber optic cable consists of optical elements that are all insulated separately from each other in a protective tube. When the electromagnetic wave we call light passes through a medium, it may undergo refraction. The medium is a different substance than air, such as water or glass, when it leaves the medium. It continues its path in a way that is parallel to the path it took before entering it. We often observe this in our daily lives. For example, what determines the amount of this refraction is the property we call the refractive index, which varies according to each medium. That is, it takes a different value. Sometimes, however, light is completely reflected back in a phenomenon called total reflection, in such a way that it cannot come out of the medium it enters. In other words, it remains in the medium. For this, the light must enter the medium at a certain angle, and this angle is called the critical angle. Fiber optic cables are based on this property. Light entering the cable at a critical angle is fully reflected so that it cannot exit the cable. The inside of these cables is designed in such a way that it is reflected. So the light that enters and is reflected hits a point on the inside wall of the cable again. The reflective property ensures that the light is reflected there as well. The light is reflected inside the cable in this way continuously until it finds the other end of the cable. This reflective cable is surrounded by another cable. The refractive index of this second cable is smaller than that of the first cable. These small cables are joined together and a silicone coating is applied on the outermost part. If this cable is designed to allow light to follow a single path through the cable, it is a single-mode cable. If it is designed to allow light to follow more than one path, it is a multi-mode cable. The light is trapped inside and continuously reflected, allowing it to be transported over a distance of up to 100 kilometers without signal loss. Over this distance, the other property of light, scattering, gradually weakens the signal. Therefore, the signal needs to be re-amplified through intermediate stations. This allows the signal to be carried at the speed of light over long distances. The information to be transported by fiber optic cable is encoded as digital data, consisting of zeros and ones in such a way that ones produce high-frequency waves and zeros produce low-frequency waves, and is transmitted along the cable in the form of such waves. The reason why copper cables provide a slower signal than fiber optic cables is that what is transmitted in a copper cable is electrons. Electrons are not as fast as light, i.e., photons. Single-mode cables transmit up to 3,000 meters. Multi-mode cables transmit up to 2,000 meters. As you can see in the image above, the internal wires are all different colors. Each color cable is responsible for transmission up to a different distance.